104,944 capacity here at the shoe. Barrett looks, fires, touchdown Buckeyes! Marcus Ball, J.T. Barrett. Then 15 at the 36. They need to go to the 49 for a first down. McSorley in trouble. McSorley looking, fires, incomplete. And Penn State turns it over on down.
I set out a goal 2 years when I came back to bring a championship to this city. I gave everything that I had. I poured my heart, my blood, my sweat, my tears to this game, and Cleveland, this is for you. Oh!
Yeah, put some respect on a name, LeBron James. Out here leading everyone and everything.
Hello and welcome back to Ohio's Praise after our brief hiatus. I know you've been waiting at the edge of your seats for our video, and hopefully you see this one. We are recording this shortly after the college football playoff rankings were first released, with Ohio State sitting at number 6. And of course, after the amazing Ohio State versus Penn State thrilling back and forth victory that the Buckeyes came out on top, and that's what we're here to talk to you about today. Chris, what stood out to you in that game?
What stood out to me? Oh my gosh. First thing that pops comes to mind, JT Barrett. He came to play, prepared, and most importantly did his job. He went 33 of 39 with 3 drop passes, 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and sets a school record of 16 straight complete passes. Most important, this is the most important part, won the game for us in crunch time with our backs against the wall.
I mean, JT, quote from Urban Meyer is he's never had a player play perfect, but JT was like as close as he's seen. JT, did you already say his 16 completions in a row? You already did. I mean, like what? He's literally not missing passes. Like that's the definition of perfection.
I mean, he had 320 some passing yards, and also led the team in rushing yards with about 95.
He put the team on his back in every sense of the word.
One big sign from Saturday is that JT and Ohio State as a whole is back. If you remember, ever since the national title game in 2014, Ohio State's been underachieving, in my opinion. If you go through, we were like destined to make it back to the national championship in 2015 because everyone was coming back, and we didn't get into the playoff. Next year, we got to the playoff and then got destroyed by Clemson. Didn't even score a point that game. This year, we play Oklahoma in our house, and we still we got dominated. I don't know how to say it. We weren't even there. But this game really helped JT and the team as a whole just like find themselves again. And JT's had a pretty tough 4 years at Ohio State.
Very tumultuous with him originally getting the starting role after Braxton got hurt in the preseason. And then JT just put on a show and got himself way ahead into the Heisman conversation before he got injured.
As a freshman.
As a freshman who did not expect to be starting until like 2 weeks before the season.
Yeah.
And then he had the season where he had to share time. And then he had last year where people were starting to question his abilities as a quarterback. And then finally this year, I mean, the guy's been through it all. He's had quarterback questions, and he took this opportunity, like Nick Wright said, that this was JT's chance to rewrite his legacy. Like he's already broken almost every Big Ten quarterback record in the book, but still, for some reason, he needs to prove to people that he is worth this role that he's been thrust into. Well, I wouldn't say thrust into because he's been there for years now, but like he's convincing people that he's there for a reason, you know.
I want to say JT's this is his 3rd offensive coordinator in 4 years. He's also lost All-American wide receivers, so he's been going through a lot of adversity.
the game was as close as it was is more of an indication on other parts of the Buckeyes than the offense itself. Even though the offense and the team as a whole, I would say, was kind of lacking at the beginning of the game.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. Definitely miscues in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and you could. Obviously, there was the 100-yard kickoff return by Saquon Barkley to start the game, and then there was the kickoff return after we stopped kicking to Saquon Barkley, and they still returned it down to the 10-yard line. Like, those plays have a huge impact on the outcome of the game if you're essentially giving the defense point or the offense points to work with, and then the defense a cushion to play with. But even against the number one scoring defense in the country, the Buckeyes were able to score at will, and our defense was the one that I think really deserves a whole lot of credit, because they were on short field a ton of times, and I believe they held them to a couple field goals. Our future possible Heisman Trophy winner, Saquon Barkley, to 44 yards rushing on 21 carries with a lone carry of 36 yards, which is obviously a huge bulk of that. So they give the defense a lot of credit.
Greg Schiano, our defensive coordinator, has said, you've heard it from time and time again, this is the best defensive line, whatever
Defensive coordinator.
No, he's the coordinator.
Oh, the defensive line, or the defensive front seven.
That's okay, that's what it is. Best he's had, including NFL, and this game just backs it up 100%. I mean, they had less than 100 yards rushing total.
Averaging 2.6 yards per carry, which is outstanding.
Interesting fact or stat that I found from the game.
It's also a fact.
It is a fact. Not counting the opening kickoff, Penn State had 13 drives. Of those 13 drives, 6 of those were less than 10 yards. And of those 6, 3 of those were negative yardage. So, I mean,
it shows
almost half of the
whole drives were
3 and out.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Or 3 and out, or 3 and then 3 more.
Yeah.
Which shows the defense, our defense is getting their offense on the field. And I mean, it should be pretty hard for a team to score points if their offense isn't even on the field. But with our special teams playing as it was pretty easy for Penn State to get in short field situations and take advantage of that. That being said, the special teams in reality is what turned the game around for us with their blocked punt after JT and I just don't know who the running back was on that play where they had that handoff miscommunication. The defense played out of their minds and put the offense in a 3 and out, and then with the crowd chanting blocked that punt, our special teams came through, got the offense in great field position for JT to score the second from game-winning touchdown. So it was 28-7 or 35 to 28 after that touchdown, and that put us right in the game. I don't think that was the right score.
It wasn't. It's okay. Another thing, if you didn't, you probably noticed at the end of the game. I mean, when Ohio State's offense was rolling, Penn State's offense basically disappeared. Last 4 drives they had were definitely, of those 6 that were less than 10 yards. 3 and out, real quick. It didn't look like they had lost their identity. It didn't look like the Penn State offense that everyone has been fearing for us.
I mean, Penn State had a 15-point lead with 5 minutes to go, and Ohio State was able to, usually at a certain point in the game, you're like, all right, if the offense can just get a couple of first downs, sustain a couple of drives, they can kill the clock. And then even if Ohio State's offense is firing on all cylinders, then they won't have the time to score.
We scored a touchdown. I think they put us within 8 or so.
Okay.
Something. It was really close. And there was 4 minutes left in the game. And I turned to Mike and I said, "Why aren't they onside the ball?" And Mike's like, "There's still a lot of time left." And I'm like, "I guess." And then the defense literally went 3 and out with them. So
yeah,
that it shows you
the confidence that the coaching staff has in the defense. Ohio State's back, and we will be back next week. We're going to Iowa.
We're going to Iowa.
To Field of Dreams.
We're going, yeah.
Iowa and Ohio State will play next week. It'll probably be the day after this video gets uploaded, and then you won't hear us talk about it for 5 more days. Regardless of that, I'm Chris. He's Mike. See you next week.
Greatest of his time, there can only be one. Y'all better believe that it's LeBron. Let's go, Bron, Bron. Let's go, Bron.